guys, how are you? Welcome to the free training course Build a Ride. This is Mike Solomon with New Jersey Contractors. Today I'll be discussing foundation. So it is very important. Pay attention. We're gonna go over all the stages. Write down all the or take notes or email me. I'll send you all the material. I'm building my blog right now, so in the future I'll have a blog and you'll have all this material. So let's just start with number one. Survey. Make sure you have a good surveyor in a team from the beginning of the project. Make sure your surveyor does construction work. Not every surveyor does construction work, so ask the question before you hire a surveyor. Okay, so two things for surveyor. You're gonna give you offsets. Okay, offsets of the building corner, usually 5-10 feet. Ask your contractor how much offset you do. With basement I do 10 feet, with crawl space 7 feet, because not much soil to disturb. So make sure, speak to your contractor and ask him what is offsets. Now offsets. 2, benchmark. Okay, benchmark is elevation, is a point. Usually give you the point on a light pole, on a tree, hydrant, sewer, on a manhole, and this point is a reference point that you can shoot, and so you can be able to shoot your footing elevation and your top of the wall. So make sure he give you a good benchmark. Usually the benchmark is top of the wall, or I like to say the top of the wall, so it's easy to shoot it and get all my numbers. Okay, that would be it for the survey. Now once you have this two things, move to excavation. So for the excavation, you have to go couple terminology, or before the excavation, let me take this back. Before the excavation, we're gonna go with some terminology so you know what to look for. Okay. First one, finished floor. FF, finished floor. Okay. You usually find this information in a plot plan. Okay. So, or if you don't have it, ask your architect. He'll be able to lead you and tell you what's the numbers. Okay. But I think you should understand these numbers, and you should be able to figure these numbers by yourself. So because sometimes the architect does, as they do arrow, you need to catch it. Okay, you need to do that also in the red line. When you review your plans with your architect, make sure he gets these numbers right, because if one number is wrong, the whole project setup is wrong. So finished floor, usually FF. Okay, for example 100. Okay, 100 feet. All right. Then you have, if you have a basement, you'll have BF. Okay, usually is 8 feet, 10 feet. You have also GF if you have garage. Okay, usually is 12-inch below, but again, none of this number is a standard, so please go and check your plans, make sure all your numbers are good. Now for the, also you have very important numbers called TOW, top of the wall. Okay, so for the top of the wall, you need to get the finished floor minus framing. Means that here's your top of the wall. Okay, all right, you're gonna have 2 sill plates. Those are 3 inches, usually 2x12s or TGIs or whatever. Find out from your framing plans what is the height of your framing. Then you have the soft floor. Okay, this is 3/4. Then you have the finish, another 3/4 if it's wood. So you're looking about 15 inches. So now if you're looking at 100 minus 1.25, which is engineer for 15 inches, so it's gonna be 98.75. So your finish, your top of the wall, 98.75. Then you can move to next one, would be top of the footing. All right, top of the footing. This would depend on the basement height. Some basement are 8 feet, some basement are 10 feet. So check on your BF, all right? Usually you get your BF, say if the basement is 8 feet, so you know your 98.75, your top of the wall, top of the wall 98.75 minus 8, so you're looking at 90.75. Now for the top of the footing, you also have to subtract, okay, the thickness of the slab, okay, so which is usually 0.25, it's 4 inches, so you're looking at 90.5 elevation. Now you take this, okay, then this is top of the footing. You need, for the excavation, you need bottom of the footing, so you take this minus 1, so you have 89.5. Then you have your 6-inch stone, which will bring you to elevation 89 feet. So make sure your site contractor, when he does the excavation, your elevation bottom of the footing 89, plus you put 6-inch stone plus your footing to bring you to the right elevation. It seems too much, but it is really easy and it's really straightforward. Speak to your architect. If you don't want to deal with the math, he should be able to give you this number on elevation. He should tell you top of the wall, TOWs, and he should give you the TOF with no problem. From the TOF, subtract the thickness of the footing. Sometimes they're 12 inches, sometimes they're 16. Check in your plans and make sure you get this right, okay? And once you do that, now you have your excavation. You start your excavation at this elevation. Make sure once you open the hole, make sure your contractor does good convection. Very, very important. Convection is very, very important. You cannot go, you just cannot put your footing without compacting the ground because you disturb it with the equipment. So make sure that all the loose ground is meeting the requirement of the code, which is 2500 BSI or whatever the plans call for. Make sure the bottom of the excavation meeting this requirement. Some project they will ask an engineer to come and test the soil before you even put the footing. Okay, so you compact good, you put a stone. Now look for the weather when you do excavation. Keep communication with site contractor. If it's raining, tell him to stop. Tell him to stop 2 feet before he reaches elevations, because if he hit his elevations and it rains and the whole ground turned to mud, he has to excavate deeper to take all the loose soil and all the loose mud and put good stone and have a virgin soil to put his footing on. Same the project I showed in the beginning in Verona, when the old house set us 3 inches, because here was wrong from the start. Okay, the house after 10 years set us 3 inches from the front to the back, so the whole house is cracked, and yeah, there's no way to fix it beside under binning or other expensive ways to do it. So make sure you do this right from the beginning. Okay, so once you get all these numbers, you get your excavations, and we're gonna go to the footing. Okay, footing, what you look for. So you got your stone, here's your hole, okay, you got your nice stone here, okay, you got form, and okay, you're gonna look, number 1, elevation. Choose a footing, elevation with your contractor. If any mistake right now, you can do it, you can fix it, okay, it's not too late. So choose the elevation again. You need to make sure you're in elevation 90.5 or 90, okay. 2, ground. Inspectors, usually when they come, this is very important for them. They look for if you have the ground wire. Make sure you put the clamps, put the wire, your number 4, and make sure it's all ready for inspection. 3, walkout stairs. Okay, so if you have a walkout stairs, you cannot do the walkout stairs on the same elevation of the building. It has to be lower, at least 4 to 6 inches. Okay, so if this is a house, footing, okay, make sure the stairs Okay, footing is 4 inch, okay, lower than it. So when you put your slab here, okay, and you put your slab here, you maintain this 4 inches, and you run your pipe right there, you drain, okay, then you take your drain out to the sewage tank or the stormwater drain. So make sure you get this right. It's the small details, but make sure if he's boring same thing and the same day, make sure your walkout footing is lower than the basement footing. Okay, 4 rebars. Okay, check on the plans. Usually 3 number 5. Okay, usually it's 2 number 5. It depends on the engineer. So take a look and make sure all the overlaps. Every time rebars meet together, make sure they overlap 30 inches to 36. Okay, all right, make sure all your corners are overlapped good. Again, look at the plan. Sometimes in a structure plan, you'll find the overlaps. Talk to your foundation. Your mason should know the overlap. 5 pipes. Okay, so you'll have French drain pipe. If you don't want a basement, you have a French drain. Okay, run it before you put the footing. Okay, ask him to run it. It's not gonna cost anything. It's not gonna take any time to run those pipes. Okay, in case we have a walkout, make sure you have the drain. Okay, 3 sewer. Now if your sewer in the street lower, okay, lower than the building, so it will be easy hookup. Okay, now if it's not, so don't worry about the sewer. Okay, so make sure if your sewer on the street is lower, make sure just run usually 4 inches sleeve. The schedule 40, the schedule 35, whatever. So just get in the other side. So once you bore the footing, you don't disturb, you don't dig under it. Okay, it's all set. From the footing, we're gonna go to the wall. Walls. Once you have your footing or board, okay, ready to go, you arrange with surveyor. Okay, you arrange it with your surveyor before you bore the footing. Also, just one more note on the footing. You need to speak to your mason, see how he bores the footing. If he's using a bomb or he's using a chute or he's using a truck. Make sure nice neat job with the footing. The truck usually take 30 minutes between each truck if you're doing 2 trucks. If 1 truck, make sure it doesn't stay forever and try to bore footing by hand. Make sure you hire a good contractor and equipped with the right tools to get this right. Again, it's easy to do it in the beginning than better than having a problem down the road. So call your surveyor 3 days before you bore your footing. Tell him, hey, we're ready for footing in 3 days, or tell him what's the lead time on it, and he's gonna give you, okay, the corner of the house. You don't trust those points. You still check these points because sometimes surveyor makes an error. So they're human. Just double check. It's not gonna take any time. Okay, if this is 30 feet, make sure it's 30 feet. If this is 60, make sure it's 60. Okay, very easy. Make sure the numbers are right. Okay. Also ask him to shoot. He's already there with the equipment. It's not gonna cost him anything. Ask him to give you elevation on one of the points, so you check against the numbers. You already work with your contractor. Make sure you're in the right elevation because you're gonna have one more chance in here to fix the wall. So if your contractor build it higher, you can cut the walls, or you can adjust the wall height. Or if the contractor did it lower, you can add. This is your mason problem. He has to fix it. Okay, but you have one more chance before you build the walls and deal with the walls. Okay, so for the walls, you need to check on the rebars. Okay, this is the footing right here. Make sure all your rebars, okay, spaced right depending on the plans. Okay, usually 16 inches, 12 inches, and make sure on the top minimum 12 inches. Okay, make sure all tied together. are good. Okay, this is what inspector look for. So make sure this is a neat job. Make sure all overlaps are good. So if you have two overlaps, make sure you tie the old bar with a new bar. Okay, make sure you're 30 inches. I think the rule is 45 times the diameter of the rebars. Okay, again, this is should be all from the plans. Rebars to openings, very important. Windows, doors, pipes, so gas, okay, sewer, water, or any other pipe. Okay, make sure your contractor does all the roughs on the windows. You give him a window schedule, or it is on the plan. Any windows in the basement, make sure he rough it right. Make sure he was pressure treated wood. Make sure he does flashing around the windows openings. So when you put the concrete, again, you're not gonna be able to fix it. So make sure he got all the roughs right. And also ask him to give you 1/2 inch or maximum 3/4 play in each frame in case window came too big, too small. You have some room to play. Okay. Water and sewer and gas. Again, all the stuff can be done after the wall is bored, but it's gonna cost you money in core drilling. So it's not gonna cost him anything to run all the stuff. For the window and doors, they have to be there. There's no question. Okay, you cannot cut the wall. Okay, you can, but it costs money. Gas, water, and sewer. Those are sleeves, usually pipes that goes into the wall and doesn't take any time. So make sure he does this right. Also check on the plumb, which if you're using a wall system, make sure you plumb the system and make sure everything is good. If you're using block, which is I don't recommend on basement anymore, because with the blocks you have a lot of masons, sometimes they rush, you have a lot of failed joints, and these failed joints can seep into the house in 10-15 years, you don't know when. So when you bore walls, check, usually it's 4500 base I or 4000 4000 base I, so usually it's very hard water get through. Also we do waterproofing in outside, so you put these two things together and in no way is the water gonna get through. Now after you do the walls, you're gonna do the slab. Slab is very easy. You're gonna choose the elevation again before you put the slab. You're gonna put expansion joint. The most important thing for the slab is the plumbing. Okay, don't forget the plumbing. Okay, stop the job. Make sure you call your plumber. Once you get to the wall, call your plumber. Tell him, hey, I need you in a week. Tell him in a week we're gonna be ready for the rough. Have him to come, close the town, the schedule. Make sure you have all your plumbing before you pour your slab. Also make sure you have, if you're again sewer lower than a footing, you have no problem. If your sewer is higher on the street, then you need a pump. Okay, so make sure you install the pump before you put the slab. You don't want to break the slab again. You want to have a neat, nice job after you're done. And make sure he runs all the clean out and all the stacks that goes upstairs. All right, that's it for the slab. Again, it's very straightforward. Now, at this point also, in the foundation, I'm gonna move to another stage of framing. This you're working with your mason, but at the same time you're doing lumber. Okay, shopping for lumber to awarding the framing. Remember, 3 weeks ago we have the window order, exterior doors are order. Now work for lumbers again. With COVID, the prices is high and it takes longer to get lumber. Make sure you shop around to save money. Make sure you order in advance. And now also you line up your framing, your framing contractor to be able to jump on it once you finish the foundation work. That'll be it for the foundation. I know it's a lot of it's a lot of material, but next time I'll see you in the field and I'll take you step by step. It's very easy, very straightforward. If you have any question, please email me. My email is info1@njgcbcorp.com. Okay, email me if you have any questions. I'm building up my blog again, so I'll have all this material also on it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time in the field. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to the free training course Better Right. Today is very important day. I'm very excited about it. It's the excavation backfill. It will be a continuation from yesterday. Yesterday we discussed the elevation numbers and what you look for. What is your TOW? What is your BOF? What is your GF? What is your BF? Today the actual work. I'll take you through. Very important. You need to discuss these numbers with your contractor. If you're an investor, if you're a homeowner, you build a new house, if you're a superintendent, if you're an architect, if you're an engineer who doing the entire project, you need to discuss this numbers with your site contractor, even if you don't self-perform it. At New Jersey Giant Contractors, we self-perform the site work. We self-perform sewer water, we self-perform the excavation, we self-perform the foundation, and I do this for a reason. I like to control the quality of the foundation. I would like to see, become our price is very competitive because we self-perform it. We don't sub it out, so we don't do any mark sub. Also, time. The time, it doesn't take me a long time to finish this work, and it's done in house. I'll give 10 years warranty on all the foundation done on the job, on each new construction we do. So it is very critical, and it is a cornerstone of the entire project. You get this right, you are set for a good project, successful project. You get this wrong, you're gonna have a mess. Make sure the house is located on the right location. Make sure your TOW, which is top of the wall, on the right elevation. Make sure your BF, which is a basement elevation, on the right. Make sure your GF is a garage elevation is right. It is very critical. So let's get started, and we're gonna start with the survey and the benchmark, and hopefully you guys enjoy the session. Thank you. All right guys, so here we start already is digging for the basement. Here you'll find my benchmark. Usually this is done by a licensed surveyor. My elevation is 345 to top of block, actually is could be TOB or TOW. TOW again is top of the wall. I have all my corners marked. One second, we'll go over there. All right, and here is the two other point, one over here, one over there. My TOW was 345. My BOF, which is the bottom of the footing, is 335. Usually when you disturb a virgin soil, you have to dig 6 inch or 12 inch, depending on the soil condition. At this house, we're doing 6 inch under the footing. We're gonna have a layer of stone. Before we even put the stone, we do a compaction with 200 pound compactor, walk behind compactor. We're gonna compact the wells, and we're gonna put the stones, and we're gonna compact it again. Then we're gonna start doing the footing. At this stage, again, I'm not gonna go over the technicality, but if you self-perform it, you need to have your steel over there ready to go. You need to have your inspection schedule, concrete schedule, again, and ready to roll. That will be it for today. I will have some videos for the compaction process. Keep your eye on the stuff, even if you don't self-perform it. Make sure your contractor compact the ground. Make sure he put sufficient stones. Make sure he done the job right. Don't go cheap. Don't hire unlicensed people. Don't go cheap at the stage, because again, one mistake will cost you a lot, especially if you're a builder. You cannot redo the entire job again. You cannot redo the you can, but it will cost a lot of money to do that. So build it right first time, and take your time through the process. And it is very important to have good quality sound footing, so the house doesn't saddle after you build the frame. That'll be it for today. If you like the class, please subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to Boulder Ride. This is Mike Solomon with New Jersey Giant Contractors. Today is a big day. We are ready for inspection and we're gonna pour the concrete. Like you see, the footing all formed. We have stiff footing in the back. This is where the garage is, and we have the basement footing is ready, and we have the stair footing. The walkout basement footing is ready as well. Today I will be going over the common checklist. So if you want to write it down, if you want to pay attention, write this down. I'll try to put it all together and send it to you and put it on my blog. So first thing, you need to check on the elevation. You want to make sure the top of the footing is the right elevation. If the top of the footing is wrong, you means the walls will be wrong. Now, for the walls, usually they are panels, 2 feet, 4 feet, 8 feet. You want to make sure all the numbers adds up like I show you. TOW and TOF, and top of the wall, top of the footing, all good. So number one, check with your contractors the elevation is good. Two, you see I have a line. I have this orange lines are running between the bends. Okay, make sure if you have a level, make sure you check all the corners are right. Now the footing usually sit. If you have 10-inch wall, the wall sit on the footing. So from those points are the outside corners of the house. They never give you the inside corners. They never give you footing corners. So the surveyor usually give you the outside corner of the house, and you have to figure out the rest. So the way you do that, you drop line down or use a level, and you get the corners. Usually if this house is gonna have 10-inch concrete wall, so I will have this means the outside of the footing is 7 inch from the corner. The outside corner is 7 inch from the wall corner. So make sure all these points are right. You have one shot on this. You screw it up, or the contractor screw it up. You don't check the stuff with your contractor, you're in the hole. Because yes, you're gonna have insurance, yes, you're gonna hire the contractor, you're gonna have insurance, you can sue him, but if he get all this work is wrong, it's not cheap to break concrete, it's not cheap to dispose concrete. So make sure, go over the list, make sure everything in the right place. Now, so number one, elevation. Number two, building corners, all good. Okay, now we're gonna have walkout basement. Very critical, very simple and very critical. If you notice here, I have 4-inch different between here and the building, and 4-inch between the top of the footing to the top of the footing of the stairs, and this is for a reason. On top of the footing, we're gonna pour the slab, the concrete slab. Now you need to have the landing for the stairs at minimum 4-inch lower. So if ever, so when it rains and snow, the water doesn't seep into the basement. And if you'll see here, you have my pipe here. This is a drain pipe, so we're gonna connect this to a drain pipe before we bore, of course, the slab. Now that moved me to the third important thing. Run all your pipes right now. So I have one pipe here, this is for the drain, and if you see over there, black corrugated pipe, I'm gonna go around. Like you see also, is we over excavated. Usually when you do this jobs, you need to over excavate it to make sure the guys can walk. Make sure you run your pipes. Your backfill was nice, stone and compaction. Here's a black corrugated pipe, and this is for the French drain, and the other side will get us to the sump pump. Now this is another important thing. Make sure you run these pipes under the footing so you don't compromise the footing. So usually, it goes by order. You put the stone, you compact, and before you run your steel, make sure you run your pipes, you compact again, and you run the steel. Now, rebars. Most of the houses here in New Jersey, we use number 5 and number 4. Just to make everything simple, I use number 5 for all my jobs. I have horizontal and verticals. Now, for the usually 3, number 5, and in a short way, every 2 feet we tie it all together. Make sure you go over the overlaps. So those are 20 foot sticks, number 5, so they overlap about 2 feet. So make sure you go over the overlaps, all right there. And we have verticals, and this is tied to the wall every 2 feet as well. Read the plans. Not all the plans are the same, so go over the plans with your contractor. Make sure he gets this right. Those verticals are very important because this is how you're gonna tie the wall to the footing. So those are very important. Some people does it this way, other people would stick it while the concrete is still not hard. Now in the corners, we tied up the corners, so we have those 2 footers. Okay, so we tie up all the corners. You can also do it other way, you can bend it. Now the last thing would be the grounding, the clamps for the grounding. This is very important for the inspector. He will always ask for this. Now if we go back, we'll see this the footing. Now I like to do it monolithic. This is all the concrete goes together and is monolithic pour. That would help you to prevent any settlement, that prevent making more solid one unit act together. So this is a way I usually do it. And here you go. That's it. Very simple, very simple. Just make sure you go over it with your contractor and get it right first time, so you don't make an error and you have to cut concrete and you have to remove it. That will be it, and I'll talk to you when we bring the concrete. Hey guys, so here's we poured the concrete. We start pouring the concrete. We finished the back area. We still have to put some vertical rebars before the concrete dry out. Now make sure you space the 2 trucks about half an hour, 45 minutes max apart, so you don't have cold joints in the footing, and the concrete can blend and join together. So at this stage, once the concrete is finished, we're gonna have it nice and level, ready for the walls. That's it guys, that will be it for the footing stage. Now we're gonna move with the French drain and doing the walls. So if you like the training, if you like the video, please subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to the free training course, Build It Right. Today we'll go over the French drain. Last time we went over the footing. Like you see, the footing is bored. We already added the 2x4. Is ready for the formwork. Now the French drain is another critical portion of the project. Make sure you do it right. The time I board the footing, I just schedule the inspection for the French drain, so you make sure you get your inspection. Now for the French drain, we have to, you don't throw it on the stone. You go around. Now by code, this French drain has to be 12 inch from the footing. It cannot just be sticking next to the footing, so it has to be about 12 inches, and it has to be bitching around from top all the way to my sun bump over there. So make sure you do it right. Now we put under it, I use perforated pipe and with a sleeve, black sleeve, this filter fabric. So these pipes I use, they already come with a filter fabric. Otherwise you can use other, this little bit expensive. The other black pipe doesn't have any filter fabric, but you have to put filter fabric on it. So I like to use those pipes. You put stone, about 8 inches stone under the 8 inch or 12 inches. Look at your plan under the pipe. Then you call for inspection, which already I'm waiting for right now. And once we pass inspection, you put another layer of stone on top of it. So as you see right here, goes up, goes around the hole. We already had a lot of stone, all these gaps between. I didn't put back dirt. I put back good stone and compact it. All right. The French drain only go on the perimeter, so it doesn't go behind the inside footings. right there. And as you see here, this is I have already my sun bump bit, and I have my rodding bit right there, and it's all the way around and it's all ready to go. Again, look at the pipe. Remember, this is pipe we ran this pipe before we bore the footing, so it's all connected now to the sun bump, the sun bump bed. So now, as you see, it's all one system. We bought this bench to keep everything in a space right, 12 inch from the footing, and everything is like you see is bitching down all the way to this sun bump. That'll be it for the French drain. If you like the course, if you like the training course, please subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to Build It Right. This is Mike Solomon, New Jersey General Contractors. Here we go. We are ready for the board in 2 days. I want to show you today's the opening in the walls. We run the rebars already. It is critical as well to go over the opening. All the wood you're seeing around is for the windows and the doors. So you have over there the door, you have windows all the way around. Even I count for the opening for the utilities. So it is really important to go over this with your contractor. This is 10-inch concrete wall. It will cost you a lot of money to get a professional concrete company to cut it for you. So make sure you go all over the opening with your contractor. Also, one thing is also very important is a sewer connection. I got lucky here. We have the sewer lower than the footing because the house is not on a flat lot. So we're gonna be able to dig under and connect to the sewer. But usually make sure if the sewer is not, make sure you count opening for the sewer for the sewer pipe. That will be it for today, and I'll see you guys when we'll bore the wall and project moving along. Thank you. Hey guys, how you doing? Today is a very exciting day. Today will be the finish line for the foundation, and the slab was poured 2 days ago before the snow, of course. And when you bore the slab, again, look at the temperature. So the temperature was about 41, so we were able to bore the slab. And as you see, my columns installed in the right elevation. I have the buckets inside the walls. For the drop beam, I have all my windows installed. I have all my plumbing stacks. So I have one plumbing stack going up. I have a wet bar right in the basement. I have toilet. I have the finish. I have the sump pump bit. I have all my plumbing run and ready to go before we bore the slab. Of course, as I mentioned in the first session, and also the walkout stairs. And as you see, steps down from the main slab, right? And also I have my drain in the middle right there, and all the water is pitching towards this drain. So all the planning, all the hard work we did is finished, and the house is ready for framing. All the walls are plumbed and ready to go. All my anchor bolts installed, and we should be start framing tomorrow or day after. So if you like the course, please subscribe and thumbs up, and thank you, and I'll see you next time.